I like to cast on with my stitches going to the left first, so I don't have to worry about, like, it just feels weird doing it backwards. So all I'm doing is cranking it to whereas it stops and I could go to the left like normal. And I'm going to get my scrap yarn and I'm going to cast on by skipping each peg. So until I get back to that black peg, I'm just going to keep skipping one. Now I'm just going to make 3 rows with this blue yarn. And so the key to making flat panels is to go until the machine stops you. Do not turn back your spinning wheel until you hit the point where it stops you. So right here. And next you can see when I go back, I want the white peg and I want it to catch it. After those 3 rows, I'm just going to cut the scrap yarn. I really don't care. And I'm going to attach the yarn that I'm working with. It's really soft and fuzzy. And I'm just going to put it in where I stopped at. And I'm just going to keep going. Now, don't worry if the black pegs catch on. It will take it off. So don't worry. Just keep going. As you can see, I'm going until it stops me, and then when it gets here, I'm pulling that yarn tight to make sure that it does not skip that first peg. That you do not want it to skip that first peg. I'm telling you, it will ruin everything. I just wanted to slow this part down so you can see I'm pulling it tight so it goes under that first white peg. Like, that's the only one we care about, to make sure that it is secure and your stitches do not drop. And I'm gonna just keep going back and forth like this until my piece reaches 20 inches. So for those that didn't see my other video, I do use measuring tape for my knitting machine. I don't use the counter because I can't. It broke. I've had this machine for about 7 years now, so my counter does not work. So bear with me. Now that we have 20 inches, we're going to pull that yarn that we have so we may have enough to cast off and tie the pieces together, and we're going to put that scrap yarn in there, and we're just going to keep going like we were doing. Now remember, do not drop that last stitch, okay? So after 3 rows of this, we're just going to cast off. I have noticed that some people wear it this way. However, I'm going for a more crop look, so I'm doing it sideways. Now it's time for the arms. I'm just going to switch down to round stricken, and I'm going to cast on. So remember, we go in one, skip the next until we get down to that black peg. I do have a video showing you how to cast on if you need more detailed look on what's going on, but we're going to do 3 rows of that, and then we're going to attach the yarn that we're working with. So I did measure my arms arms to see how long I should make this. So make sure you do that. Yeah, so you make sure you have the right size. I did 20 inches for my arms. So you're just gonna cast that on off, and you should get a long tube like this. It don't look that long, but I promise you it's gonna fit, okay? So now we have all of our pieces. So I'm just going to show y'all, this is the back panel. This is going to be my top panel, my front of my sweater. I got my arms ready. So now I'm just prepping to get everything ready to sew everything down. So I'm not a fan of the rolling up, so I'm going to single crochet the brim of this at the end of the video. I'm going to show you how I do that. Now I'm just taking the corners of each piece, so the front, back, and the arm panel. I am taking the first stitch of those and I'm attaching it together with a stitch marker. So where the yarn starts at on each piece, that is where I will be putting the stitch marker at, so I can have a place of reference. It was just a lot going on because the yarn was just getting in the way, but I just kept this in here because I wanted y'all to see, like, it does happen. Like, it's not going to be 100% perfect when you're doing it, so just make sure that, you know, you take your time. So on my Addy machine, there are a total of 46 stitches. So on my armholes, I have 46 stitches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine 23 stitches to the front panel and 23 stitches to the back. So this is why I use scrap yarn, so it's very easy to tell the difference between what yarn needs to be stitched, so I don't drop any stitches. Everything is going to be smooth and attached perfectly fine. So right now all I'm doing is counting 23 stitches on the front panel, and I'm going to get my stitch marker and I'm going to put it right there, and I'm going to do the same thing to the arm loop from the corner that we attached at the top. Okay, great. We have everything for the front panel. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing for that back panel. Now that I've counted all of my stitches to make sure everything's perfect, we are going to now flip this inside out because I want the braid looking pattern to be on the outside and the squiggly pattern to be on the inside. When you are attaching your pieces together, make sure that you are attaching the squiggly knit look together instead of, doing the braid look. This is going to make sure that you have a seamless sweater and it don't look crazy, okay? So we're going into that first stitch where the yarns connect that we put our stitch marker in, and we are just going to go into every single stitch that we see at the top of each panel where the opposite yarn is. Okay, so we're not going into the scrap yarn, we're going into the yarn that the project is. And we are single crocheting, okay? So we don't do slip stitches because it'll make it too tight, so we do single crochet instead. And we're just going to do this for the front and the back panel. And I really wanted to just slow it down right here so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is what the front of your work should look like after you combine both sides. Now don't get freaked out at this point because we're going to pull that scrap yarn out, but after we combine the front and back panels. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing we did for the armholes, and we're going to flip it inside out. I just really wanted y'all to see how the armhole look on the inside right quick. But we're going to take the front and back panels and we're going to single crochet the front and back together, just how we did on the arms. So we're going into that very first stitch at the bottom and we're going to single crochet all the way up into the corner of your armhole, and you shouldn't have any more stitches left. Do not leave any stitch, even if the number of stitches do not match. Make sure that you just single crochet the ends anyway, okay? Just make sure that it's secure because you do not want your project to unravel. Now we get to the fun part, so let's just cut out all of that blue scrap yarn, and I would just want y'all to look at this seam. Look at it, look at it, look at it. It looks so good. What? You can't tell me I bought this somewhere, okay? So the stitches are looking amazing. It looks very seamless. I absolutely love how it came out. So now we're just going to do the same thing for the other side. Yeah, I just love how this looks, you guys. I'm so excited. Now that we've finished both sides, I'm going to count every single stitch from the right arm to the left arm because now it's time to make the neck hole. So I'm counting every single stitch so I could figure out how many need to be on the left and the right in order for the neck hole to be even with the project. So I have 83 stitches total, and I said I was going to leave 10 for the neck, but 10 minus 83 is 73, so I just took 35 from each side and left 13 in the middle, just open. Now I'm just counting 35 stitches on the front and back panels, and I'm attaching my stitch markers to both sides so that I do not mess up, okay? This is real like key in making sure that everything's even and looking good. Now that I put my stitch markers, I'm going to turn the project inside out and I'm going to begin single crocheting the stitches together until I get to that stitch marker. Do y'all see this? Okay, seamless. Okay, do y'all see it? Do y'all see it? Do y'all see it? So your project should look like this now. So we're gonna do the same thing on the right side of the project, and I will be back. So this is what she looks like. It's super cute and I'm super excited to put her on. I was thinking about doing single crochet around the brim of the neck, but I didn't do it because it just wasn't worth it. But now the only thing that we have to do is of course we have to weave in those ends because it look a little janky. But now we have to do the armholes. But now I just really wanted y'all to see how it looks. This is the back. So look at it. It's super cute. All the seams are just taken care of. All I'm doing here is attaching the yarn so I can have more yarn to crochet with. So I'm going to go into that first stitch and we're going to single crochet into every single stitch around the arm. So I'm doing this in real time just to show you guys what I mean by when I say going into the stitch that is at the top of the scrap yarn, but not going through the scrap yarn. So now that we're done with that, it's my favorite part, you guys. I tried to do this for the sweater, but it didn't work. So we're just gonna unravel the blue yarn. It's so satisfying, and I just loved how these sleeves came out. They just look so good. Just going to do the same thing here. So now I'm about to single crochet into the very bottom stitch of every single stitch, because I wanted to stop rolling up so much, because I feel like now it's just rolling up a little too much, and I feel like if I do a single crochet around the brim that it won't curl up as much as it has been. But here she is, you guys. I am finished. She looks so good, and yes, she is softer than she looks. I absolutely love this yarn. It's Latte Cakes by Karen. It is amazing. So now I'm just sewing in those ends that are just hanging off. I'm sewing those in the project, and I'm also going to pull it a little bit, and I'm going to cut it so that it just disappears in the stitch, so I don't have to see it no more. And I do this for all of the stitches. So this is what it looks like on. It's super cropped. Ladies, you have to be careful with this one, okay? You must be careful, but look at it. It's so cute, so soft. And yeah, so let me know if you guys want any other tutorials. I will be making a longer one for my girls that don't like it this cropped. but I think this is super cute and I love it. Please, please, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you love this, and also let me know if y'all want to see anything else in the future, and I will try my best to create it for you guys.